All righty. So now that we're getting started here, welcome to Live Well Series number 1 presented by Mathis Pharmacy. I want to thank you guys for coming and listening to this presentation. So let's go ahead and get started. First off, there's no better time than now to start living healthy, which was said by an unknown person because so many people have said that over time that we don't know who the first person to say it was. Because there's really no better time than now to start living healthy, and people have been saying that for a long time because it's always been true. So as you can see here, we have Christopher Morris, whose picture is now coming in, and that is my friend who's getting ready to come and give a presentation, finish up the presentation here in a little bit. And now here's a picture of myself. We added these pictures on there mainly for the recording, and just because if you were lucky, or I guess I can say unfortunate enough to join us here on Zoom, you can see our faces in the nice little corner. So, but we are both Purdue Pharmacy students and working here at Mathis for the next 2 months. So now let's start off with some New Year's resolutions, because even though it's getting towards the end of January, it's still the beginning of the year. And what better time than now to think about getting healthier, and not just think about getting healthier, but actually take the first steps down the path to better health. When we think back to New Year's resolutions that you or someone that you know have made in the past, they're normally made with the mindset of running away from a problem or running away from bad feelings. For example, let's just say I had to add another hole in my belt because I couldn't fasten it anymore. Or my favorite pair of jeans, my favorite jacket, or my favorite shirt doesn't fit anymore. Or just gets a little tight. Well, after this happened, I decided to set a goal weight for myself and try to make myself healthier. All those reasons that I just mentioned are actually running away from a problem or feeling bad. Yes, no one wants to feel bad, but the only thing is, what happens when your jeans aren't tight anymore? Even though you're not really even close to your weight loss goal, you've only lost a few pounds, you lose the motivation to keep going towards your goal weight, because your real goal that you set was not to lose weight and not to become healthier, but it was actually to make sure that your clothes fit again. And it's been shown and it's been studied that if you actually set your goal with the mindset of actually moving towards becoming healthier, running towards a good thing, running towards better health, you have a lot more success in the long run versus if you're just trying to run away from a problem. So let's make sure that when we're thinking about setting new goals for this year and during this presentation, that we think about goals in the mindset that we actually want to become healthier, actually healthier, and not just run away from a problem that you may be having. But before we move on to the rest of the presentation, I would like everybody just to slow down for a second and imagine that you have a magic lamp with a genie in it, just like Aladdin in the Disney movie. And with your 3 wishes that you can get rid of all the pain that you have, all the possible arthritis you may have in your joints, all the cholesterol you might have in your arteries going to your heart. You're back down to a perfect weight for yourself. And just imagine this magically happens overnight. What would you do tomorrow? What would you do the next day? Would you play with your children or grandchildren without getting tired? Would you walk through the park with a friend or significant other without becoming out of breath? Well, just think about this and what you would do, because that would be your ideal tomorrow. And we here at Mathis want that ideal tomorrow for you. And we really hope this presentation helps give you the tools to help make that ideal tomorrow a real reality for you. So now let's go over some of the topics that me and Chris are going to be covering in this presentation. First, we're going to talk about how to set SMART goals. Next, we're going to go over some advice for exercising at home. Then we're going to talk about some advice for better sleep hygiene. And finally, some of the different services that Mathis has to offer here. These are just a few topics that we're covering today, and we know there's a whole lot of other topics related to reaching better health. And we do hope to cover these in the future and later on in the series. Chris and I are only here for 2 months, and when we move on to our next internship in May, we hope that the next students that come in will continue this series and go over some more of these topics to help you get to a better health. So now that we're talking about New Year's resolutions, let's go ahead and talk about some common New Year's resolutions. Some of the most common resolutions are, I want to become healthier, I want to lose weight, I want to work out more, I want to eat healthier, and I want to learn a new skill. Man, Doesn't that sound like a great year? I mean, who doesn't want to become healthier, lose weight, work out more, eat healthier, and learn a new skill? That sounds great. But the only problem is every year people try these and try these, but for some reason, the people who work hard at these goals, they just normally don't achieve them. Why do you think that might be? Well, let's go back to the New Year's resolution picture here. And I actually have an example. Me and Chris both went to Purdue, and every year in January, you could walk by the gym. And every treadmill, every elliptical, and every machine was being used by somebody. But as the month went on, and week by week, little by little, there was less people using those machines. By the time you got to February, half the machines were not being used. By the time you got to March, it was back down to the regular 10 or 15 people that were there working out every single day. And the same thing happened at one of the healthy dining courts around campus that offered vegetarian or healthier options for people to eat. The dining court was full at the beginning of January, but by the time March came around, you're back down to the same people who eat there every single day. And I'm sure that you guys have seen something similar to this in your own neighborhood. Why do you think this is? One reason could be there's a problem with the resolution itself, not the person failing it. So let's look at ways that we can make these resolutions better, because we don't want to do New Year's resolutions anymore. We want to do SMART goals. And let's go over what SMART goals are. SMART goals is an acronym that stands for specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-bound goals. You want a good goal, a good SMART goal has all 5 of these things in it. And also another thing important to note about a good goal would be to make sure that you write it down on a piece of paper or type it in on a computer and print it out so that you can see it. It's been proven that if you write down your goal or you look at it at least once a week, it helps you increase your chances of success in reaching this goal. So if you write it down, it helps keep you engaged with this goal. It keeps you liable to yourself. So, but now that we know what each of the letters in a SMART goal means, let's go ahead and change some of those old New Year's resolutions into a new SMART goal. So let's go ahead and start off with the big one. I want to be healthier. So is this goal specific? No, it's really not. There's a whole lot of different ways that you can actually become healthier. But let's go ahead and narrow it down to one specific thing, which would be, I would like to lose weight. So now we've changed it to, I want to lose weight. So now that this goal is specific, is it measurable? Once again, no, it's not, because it doesn't have an actual number in it that you can measure. You need to make sure that you have a specific number of pounds that you want to lose to make sure that this goal is measurable and that you can compare it to what you're doing currently. So let's go ahead and change it to, I would like to lose 30 pounds. So now that our new goal is specific and measurable, is this goal attainable? Honestly, no, it's not for most people. The CDC recommends a 5 to 10% weight loss of your entire body weight in the next 6 months would be a healthy weight loss goal. So unless you weigh 300 pounds or more, losing 30 pounds is not an attainable goal for you in a healthy way. So let's think about this. An easy way to do this would be you take your actual weight and you just chop off the last number, and that would give you 10% of your overall weight. Then you take half of that and you would get 5%. So let's take an actual weight of 187 pounds. If you weigh 187 pounds, you would chop off the 7 and you would get 18 pounds would be 10% weight loss. Half of 18 is 9. So 9 to 18 pounds would be a healthy weight loss for you. So now we've changed our goal to, I want to lose 9 to 18 pounds. So is this goal relatable? Yes. Honestly, relatable and the R is the easiest letter in the SMART goals, because if the goal wasn't relatable to you, you wouldn't have made it one of your goals in the first place. Think about it this way. The only problem is that SMART goals sounds a whole lot better than SMAC goals. So we had to make sure we put the R in there to make it something that makes sense as SMART goals. So now we move on to, is this goal time bound? No, once again, it's not. We need to add a time frame that we want to lose this 9 to 18 pounds in. And like I said earlier, the CDC recommends a 5 to 10% weight loss in 6 months would be a healthy goal for you. So we'll go ahead and change that to, I would like to lose 9 to 18 pounds in the next 6 months. And think about it this way. How many of you have heard that as a New Year's resolution? I'm guessing none of you have, because I know I've never heard that as a New Year's resolution, but maybe that's one of the reasons why they fail. We just look at it this way. We've changed I want to be healthier to I want to lose 9 to 18 pounds in the next 6 months with just 5 easy questions. Is your goal specific? Is it measurable? Is it attainable? Is it relatable? And then is it time bound? So now that we've done it with health, let's go, or now that we've done it with weight loss, let's go ahead and do an activity example. An activity example would be, I want to work out more. Now, let's go through another example, or let's go through this goal. Is it specific? Yes, it is specific because you've already focused in on the one issue that you want, which is increasing your activity. So is this goal measurable? No, there's no way to measure more. So you have to pick a specific amount of time that you would like to work out. So let's say I want to work out 2 hours every day. Now that our goal is measurable and specific, is this goal attainable? No, it's really not, because let's be honest, who has the time to set aside 2 hours every single day, 7 days a week to work out? A lot of people have jobs, they have other things that they like to do around the house. Not a whole lot of people have 2 hours every single day to work out. So let's go ahead and change that to something a little bit more manageable for most people, which is I want to work out at least 150 minutes each week. And this 150 minutes is recommended, but I'll let Chris go more into that detail later and why 150 minutes each week is recommended. So now is our new goal relatable? Yes, like I said before, relatable is the easiest part of SMART goals, because if it wasn't relatable and important to you, you wouldn't have made it a goal in the first place. So lastly, is this goal time bound? Yes, because you want to work out 150 minutes each week. So each week would be your time frame that you want to make sure that you work out 150 minutes for. So now we've gone from I want to work out more to I want to work out at least 150 minutes each week. Once again, you probably never heard that as a New Year's resolution, and that's probably one reason why New Year's resolutions don't always work. They're not specific, measurable, attainable, relatable, and time bound. So what do you do after you reach your SMART goal? Well, the first step is to set a new goal. Setting a new goal is very important to keep yourself on the path to better health and keep the momentum and excitement going after all the work that you've put in. After 6 months of lifestyle changes, you will have figured out what works well for you and what doesn't. And you can make your goals even more specific for what you want to change. Also, something important to note is after losing weight, your body actually needs less calories than that you started. So if you're eating and working out the exact same way, your weight loss might end up stalling. And adjusting these goals can actually help you get your weight loss going back in the direction that you want. So you can, when you set your new goals, you can continue your current lifestyle changes or improve on them. After the last 6 months, you have a lot more information about what you like and how to become healthier yourself. So, but the main important thing is do not revert back to your old unhealthy habits. So setting a new goal, or let's see, now setting a new goal after you complete your SMART goal is one of the reasons why SMART goals are better than New Year's resolutions. They never resolve. They are lifelong changes that can help create better health month after month and year after year. So remember to make your goals with the mindset of running towards better health and feeling better, and not just running away from problems, because eventually those problems can catch back up to you. So now that we've learned how to set these SMART goals, I'll let Chris come and talk to you about ways that you can work out better at home. Hello, everyone. All right, so I'm going to start off. I know we've talked a lot about SMART goals. Maybe you want to set a SMART goal that concerns physical activity. Well, there are a lot of common struggles that we all share, like paying for gym memberships can be quite expensive. You have the YMCA, which can be around $80 per person. You also have all the way down to as low as $10 for Planet Fitness. These are all costs that we really don't like paying. Also in Indiana, we can have some pretty inconsistent weather. We can have snow one day and then we can have all day rain the next, and by the end of the week, we can have tornado warnings. So Indiana is not the most friendly for consistent weather to let us get outside and really enjoy doing outdoor activities. Third, COVID. We've been dealing with it for a little bit over a year now. It's been keeping us inside, keeping us from friends and family. This is aside from not being able to go out and do as much, we probably don't feel like doing as much because, well, you know, we haven't been able to see family and we might not be feeling up to it. The next one, lack of a local park. There may not be a park next to you, may not be a walking area around for you to easily walk down and within maybe a couple minutes. You have to get in your car and drive a certain distance. That is another hindrance. And last, sometimes we just don't feel comfortable working out around other people. We start to sweat, we maybe don't look our best, our face gets red, and around here, you know, you may run into your boss, you may run into your friends, and you may not want to see them when you're not really looking your best. So I'm going to give you some solutions to these problems. And most of the answers center around working out at home. There are many options. Let's name a few. There are workout subscriptions you can do. There are also resistance bands that you can use. There are free workouts on YouTube that you can watch. Workout DVDs, tried and true. You can even use your chair in your home for a workout. And there are some other compact equipment that we're going to go into. So let's start off with workout subscriptions. The first one we're going to talk about is the Nike Training Club. It's a free app. It has different workouts, including yoga and bodyweight exercises, and it's completely free. There's another app. It's called Heart and Soul Fitness. It's also free, and it provides varied workouts like full body, HIIT, and strength exercises. And there's Peloton also. They're well known as pioneering home workouts. Now that this is a paid app at $12.99 per month, but they normally have at least a 30-day free trial at any point in time. So you could try that out risk-free. It also has varied workouts like running, cycling, strength training, yoga, and even meditation. And no Peloton equipment is needed. So you don't have to have any big fancy machine. You click it on and you go. The last one I'm going to talk about is Apple Fitness Plus. Relatively new. It does feature yoga, HIIT, cycling, treadmill, strength, and other workouts. And what's neat is if you have an Apple Watch, you can actually sync your heart rate up and track all of your workout information for you. And if you have a lot of Apple devices, it works pretty seamlessly. And it does cost around $9.99 per month to use that. Now we're going to talk about resistance bands. You can see here on the left, the gentleman here is able to use the resistance bands for all sorts of workouts. He's able to do lunges, he's doing pull-ups, and working on his shoulders, working on his legs. We also have a few examples of different types of resistance bands. And you can see here on your right, the woman here, she's doing some leg exercises, some core exercises, also some arms. Really, overall, resistance bands are great for at-home workouts. They can be used to work out the entire body, and they're relatively inexpensive. And the benefit is you have these weight ranges, like I was showing you here. There's the blue, the yellow, and the red. As you go up, the intensity gets stronger. The amount of strength it takes to move them apart increases. So we'd want to start with the lowest band first, the one that's the most stretchy, and go up from there. And what's really nice about these is that you can actually adjust the amount of difficulty pretty quickly just by adjusting your grip. So if you let a little bit of slack out, it lessens how difficult it is. And if you tighten it up and take up some of that slack, you increase the difficulty. It's as simple as that. And I know I told you that we were going to show you some YouTube workouts. Well, if you go to YouTube and simply search beginner resistance band workout, this is what you'll get. Well, this is actually the cost of the resistance bands first. And then here's the workout. And there are tons of videos like this one where this is put on by, looks like Vive Health. You can actually subscribe on YouTube to this, and they have all sorts of videos where you can change up and have these versatile workouts whenever you'd like, and it's all free. Another example that I have here to show you guys. We'll skip a little.
Let's do 2 more.
So you can get all sorts of personalities. You can see all different types of people. And the great part is they all have a channel with a certain amount of subscribers, and they like to keep those subscribers entertained, bringing new content. And once again, it's all free. So now that we've talked about that, we're going to talk about DVDs. We have Zumba here. It's pretty self-explanatory. You get these step-by-step instructions with this upbeat music, and it helps keep you active and tries to bring in some fun. The next one here we have is, you may know her name, Jillian Michaels. She's from the show Biggest Loser TV show. She's known as being a pretty tough cookie, and she's a really good motivator. So if you know someone from TV that you like to watch, from like a personal trainer, more than likely they have some sort of DVD out there that you can grab. And we have another DVD example here. This one says 28-day fitness, 28-day fat torch. I want to warn you guys against getting too caught up in the 28-day or the 60-day or the 90-day fitness thing. We really don't want to think about after 28 days, we've met our goal and then we stop. We need to continue to work out consistently every week. And if we look to the end of that program and we don't continue to set another goal, like Remy was saying, then we're going to fall back into bad habits and we'll fall back into unhealthy living and all the effort that we gave. It's going to be, we're going to have to go ahead and start it again. And we're not going to be able to, we're going to lose that. And it's going to be this cycle. So I want to make sure to continue to work out constantly. Even if the DVD says 28-day fat torch, continue watching it on the day 29 and day 30. Keep going past that. The next exercises are chair exercises. They can be easy to do any time of the day. On the left, you can see lunges, dips, and toe taps. And on the right, you can see the gentleman doing step-ups and tricep dips. And he incorporates all of that. And all of this and more can be accomplished without spending a dime. All of us, we all have a simple kitchen chair. And what's amazing is it can assist you in becoming more fit. I have examples of some workouts you can also find on YouTube. These are free videos among thousands. All I gotta do is simply search the words beginning chair exercises. we'll get right to the good stuff. There you go. And you can follow this guy. His channel is called Chair Workouts. And you can see here he has all of these other chair workouts, so you will never get tired of the same routine. Another group you might want to look into, her name's Caroline Jordan. There you go. Really positive. You can see that I've had all different types of people, including from different backgrounds. The gentleman there to the left, he is actually a doctor. So she has him in the workouts to try to show, and he kind of talks about some of the stuff that's going on and why it's important to do it. And what's cool is, once again, you just subscribe to this person and you can follow all their videos completely free. And the next one we're going to talk about are some compact equipment. These pieces of equipment are smaller in size and they're normally focused on working on specific parts of the body. The balance board here is really good for working core strength. The pull-up bar is good for the upper body. Jumping rope, normally good for heart health. The folding pedal exerciser is normally good for low intensity leg workouts. And I want to say a word of caution. There are many small pieces of workout equipment that can do nothing to very little for our health. And the shake weight in the upper corner is one of those items. It was hyped a lot before it was released, and it received mixed reviews to actual physical benefits. And as you can see here in the prices, something that's really good for your heart and you can do pretty much anywhere, $10. Not that much, and you can use it until it falls apart and replace it, and then you're only $20. Compared to if they were to talk you into maybe getting one of these shake weights, which doesn't really do anything of value, it's like $53 for that. So just beware, price does not always equal effective on these. Next important thing we want to talk about. Remy was talking about this earlier. He says that we want you guys to get 150 minutes per week of exercise. This is something that's recommended by the American Heart Association around moderate intensity aerobic activity. And what's nice about this is you can actually split up this 150 minutes over 5 days, 7 days, 3 days, whatever is most comfortable for you. Mostly, a lot of people will do it around like 30 minutes per day and do that for 5 days. That's what I actually tend to do. And what's cool is those 30 minutes, you can actually split those up too. You could do 10 minutes in the morning, maybe 10 minutes at lunch, and then 10 minutes at night. It doesn't have to be continuous throughout the whole day. And the one cool thing about this is there are extreme benefits. These have been tried and true. I can tell you without a doubt, with doing this, you can decrease your risk of heart disease and stroke. You can improve your bone health. You can lower your risk of type 2 diabetes, improve your memory, reduce anxiety and improve mood, and lower your blood pressure. And I also want to tell you this too. I know that 150 minutes per week sounds like a lot. Definitely, if you're not doing a whole lot now and you're moving directly into trying to do that 150, maybe you can't do that right off the bat. That's fine. Maybe 10 minutes is what you start out at. That's fine. Start off at 10 and then slowly build up. Because honestly, at least trying and moving towards that is better than doing nothing. Because even just getting started, doing 10 minutes, it's going to start to improve all of these aspects in your life. And we know that through all sorts of science literature. Now that I've told you about that, while you're working out, there are a few things you want to watch out for. The American Heart Association also recommends that your heart rate stay around a specific amount, depending on your age. So let's take, for example, using the graph, a 40-year-old has a range of 90 to 135 beats per minute. This puts them at around 50 to 85% of what their heart should be doing, with a max of 180 beats per minute. Contrary to someone who is around half the age at 20 years old, they will need to stay around 100 to 170 beats per minute with a max rate of a 200. That's quite a considerable difference. And we're going to want to make sure, the reason why that this is even out here, and the American Heart Association recommends this, is because we want to train the heart. We don't want to do any sort of damage to the heart and overwork it. So we want to make sure to watch this. And I know that I'm telling you that this is important. But if I don't tell you how to watch for this, then I guess it doesn't do you much good. So I'm going to start on how to actually check your heart rate. You probably have seen this on a lot of medical shows, and I'm going to teach you how to do it. So you want to start off by taking 2 fingers, and you can place them on your wrist, right around the end, or you can place it just under your jaw. Rest your fingers there. You'll want to hold your fingers in place for 30 seconds and count how many beats, how many pulses you feel during that time. After the 30 seconds are over, you'll multiply that number by 2, and that will be your heart rate in beats per minute. Let's run through an example for you. So let's say I took my fingers, placed them here, I feel that heart beating, and I counted up over the next 30 seconds. Let's say I got 42 beats I counted. Well, multiply that by 2, 84. That's the beats per minute. So this is something to where maybe you're in the middle of doing your activity, you stop a minute, check it, and write it down, and then continue your workout. And you can make sure that you're within the range you're supposed to be. Now, if you don't feel like doing this, I have another option for you. Heart rate sensors. They are so much easier. If you go onto Amazon and search the words fitness tracker, these are some of the results that you'll get. On the left, you got one that looks a little bit like a Fitbit. It's around $21, and the one to the right of that looks a little bit like an Apple Watch, around for $36. These watches, you can put them on and get them set up, and normally you don't require a cell phone or any sort of electronic device. They're also pretty intuitive. But if you were ever to need any help, always feel free to pop in to Mathis, and we will help you with that. The next option, go to Amazon, search pulse oximeter. Basically what this will do for you is it will check how quickly your heart's beating, and it will check to see how much oxygen is running through your system. You don't really have to worry about that too much, but we're really just going to use it more for the actual heart rate. Now, the one thing I will tell you, the difference between both of these would be the ones at the top, they will tell you your heart rate continuously throughout your whole workout. The bottom one, you're going to have to stop, go ahead and put it on your finger, wait for 15 seconds, and then get that one reading. So depending on what would be the easiest for you, you'd want to make that choice and go with either one. Now, I know we've spoken a lot about working out, but you got to have energy to work out. So the next topic we're going to talk about is sleep hygiene. We're going to make sure that you have good night's rest to supercharge your workouts. And what is sleep hygiene? Well, it's the overall approach for healthy and rejuvenating sleep. And I'm going to give you some tips and tricks to get you some good quality sleep. You want to make sure to be consistent. Go to bed and get up at the same time. And we're going to want to aim for around 7+ hours of sleep per night. If you get up and go to bed at the same time,
it starts to get in rhythm, our body, our circadian rhythm. And our body isn't caught off guard, and it knows when to go to bed, and then it knows when to go to sleep. The next, keep the bedroom dark, and we don't want any noise, or possibly, if no noise makes it difficult to go to sleep, maybe have a white noise machine. And you also want to keep the temperature around 65 degrees. And I know that does sound cold, but think about it. You're probably going to have your pajamas on. You're also going to be under some sheets and probably 3 or 4 blankets. So you're really not going to be exposed directly to the 65 degrees. And just give it a try for a couple nights and see what it does. The next, no electronic devices for 30 minutes before bed. Any sort of electronic device gives off a blue light, and it can mess up when our body thinks it's time to go to bed. So make sure you have those 30 minutes without a device, so your body can naturally start to wind down and want to go to sleep. The next one, avoid large meals, caffeine, and alcohol before bedtime. We don't want to do anything directly before bedtime that would excite our body and make it more difficult for our body to go to sleep also. Get exercise. Make sure and get it throughout the day. It'll make it easier for us to go to sleep. And what's kind of interesting is if you exercise, it gets you ready for sleep. And if you sleep well, then you have energy to work out. So it's almost like this delightful circle of fitness that we have going on here. The next one is try virtual sunset. It's a really cool idea. What we're going to want to do is 2 hours before bedtime, turn the lights down low, turn the volume down low, and relax. Don't do a whole lot of moving around or excited movements. And this should start to replicate almost like the sun setting. The light isn't as bright, things are starting to dim, things aren't as active, and it should start to mimic naturally what the sun would do for us. And now, Remy is going to come back to you and finish it up.
All righty. Well, I'm back, and let's be honest here. We're going to finish up with some Mathis Pharmacy Services because me and Chris are both students here at Mathis, and we couldn't let you guys get out of here without at least hearing a little bit about the different services they have to offer. So first off is the Diabetes Center, where me and Chris both work at currently. Well, let's go ahead and start off with, they offer 2 different types of classes. There's a diabetes class that has it's a diabetes self-management education class that has a group sessions for 4 weeks, then individual follow-ups for an entire year to help manage your diabetes. There's also a diabetes prevention program that's in the process of being accredited by the CDC for patients with prediabetes. Next, here's the medical supplies section of the store that offers lift chairs, walkers, canes, and many other products for all your home healthcare needs. And the 2 people that work there, Chris and Michelle, are extremely nice and would love to help you out with anything that you could need at home. Next is the sync program that the pharmacy offers in the back. This helps minimize the number of trips that you have to make into the pharmacy each month. We will contact your doctor for you when you run out of refills so that you don't have to make the calls yourself, and we'll call them for you, and it hopefully reduces your wait time as well. And yes, you're reading that right on the bottom. Mathis also offers free delivery. And that includes the New Albany and some areas in parts of Clarksville and Jeffersonville. And lastly, another service that Mathis offers is called the Dispill program. And basically how that works is we take all your medications that you take every single day, and the ones you take in the morning, we put in this package. And this is a sample package here, and it doesn't have anything on it in the unused section in white. The orange is for the evening, and then blue is for bedtime. So up to 4 different doses, 4 different times that you take your medicine each day, we'll put each and every single one of your pills in a nice little easy tear off plastic box for you. So you just tear off that one section, take all the pills in there, and you don't have to ever worry about, did I miss that one medication? Did I miss a different medication? I'd say it helps you out and make sure that you take all your medication every single day. So Lastly, we just want to say thank you guys so much for coming to this presentation. We loved having you guys here, and we will have our second series of this type of Live Well series on February 23rd around the same time.